All right, Sag, the hell? Why is it that every time this card shows up, it can't be equally balanced with something just as good? There's always got to be issues with it. So what I will say on this, though, is whatever love is being renewed for you, that love needs to outweigh the need for perfection. So from Lee Vampire, love conquers all, enduring loyalty, eternal love and lasting commitment, and then perfection from Chakra Wisdom. Now, love conquers all. Love being renewed, reignited, and enduring. Love is all there is. Giving it a place of honor in your life and in your work. Right? All those beautiful things with this damn card. But with perfection, the warning has always been, be careful about being too hard on yourself and then consequently on others. It's okay to set higher standards, but really, is there such a thing as a perfect love? I've yet to see it. Now, if you are having love renewed for you in something, don't be so hard on yourself and feel like you need to be a perfectionist, right? All right, Sag, here's your overall for the week, the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, definitely a love for something that you're doing, work that you're doing. The problem is with this Eight of Pentacles, I look at this person and think they don't look very happy. But usually I look at the Eight of Pentacles and I think, this is somebody who knows what they're doing. They enjoy what they're working toward. Now, it could just be that you are busting your ass and that's all you're doing. But we'll see. Now, in the past, the King of Wands, I've always seen that as Sag. I don't see that as Leo. I don't see that as Aries. I like it when it shows up for them, but for me, this is Sagittarius. The wisdom, right? The wisdom of a king. The King of Wands. So in the past, now for some of you, absolutely, you could be dealing with another person, possibly another fire sign coming through. But because I look at the King of Wands as you, this is you being excited, being adventurous, right? Charting your own course, being wise about where your passions are leading you and busting your ass. But, is that changing? Is there a new passion? But like I said, it may be because of a person in your space. One of the things that I say when the King of Wands shows up, whether you're male or female, is if it is about a person, this is going to be somebody that there is an attraction to. But I don't know. I feel like this has to do with how you were in the past. Very nice. So in the present moment, all that hard work is paying off and you're getting to a spot where you feel stable. And definitely we could be talking about you building a life with somebody. That's what I see when I look at the Four of Wands. But this is also about reaching that milestone, accomplishing something, being able to celebrate what you have done, reaching that place of stability. But you've had to bust your ass to get there. Future conditions, the Page of Swords. So, what I feel around that is upsetting news. The Page of Swords, the messenger of conflict. And you could definitely be dealing with somebody who may be, asking a lot of questions. But I also look at this as the need for more information, though. I always question the truth when it comes to the Page of Swords, but what is it that's being communicated to you that's not, quite forthright? I look at this as, not the full truth here. Your best path to follow, the Ten of Pentacles. So, if you are dealing with another person here, I think that you're pulling on, your own wisdom here based on what you've already experienced in the past. And I think that some of you may be questioning somebody else coming through. I think that right now the focus is on, busting your ass here and creating stability, something that, being proud of, something that you can be proud of. And looking at the Ten of Pentacles, I think, this is about your security and stability. I don't necessarily feel like this is going to have to do with family issues. I would have expected to see that in the environment if that were the case. But this to me is, needing to look at overall security and stability, especially if you've had to bust your ass to get to where you're at right now. Don't let bad news or somebody else disrupt what you are trying to build for yourself. I don't know. I feel iffy about that Page of Swords. In your environment, the Magician. Hell yeah. Manifesting that cool ass shit. I love it. And with the Four of Wands, perfect. And I look at it lining down in seeing you being more confident in yourself and your ability to make shit happen. With the Magician, yes. I don't know. I don't really see this as manipulation. I think right now, if you have somebody in your space asking you a lot of questions, I think that you are trying to focus on your work, your stability, your security. And it could definitely be that you have somebody who is attracted to you asking you a bunch of questions up your ass, wanting to know what's going on. But for you, it's like, I've got other things that I need to focus on right now and make happen for yourself. With the Magician being there, yeah, it's about you making things happen. You have the ability to do that. And you magically making stability happen here with the Four of Wands. I love it. I think that this is just something that is going to be like a nuisance more than anything else. Your hopes and your fears, the Page of Pentacles. I'm telling you, right now, it's all about you. It's all about you, making something happen for yourself here. And like I've been saying consistently this week with the Page of Pentacles, it's, needing to start from the bottom. But this is definitely good news if we're talking about finding a place to live, buying a new home, right? This to me looks good. But, as far as a fear, it's about, all of the hard work that you're going to have to continue to do to maintain this, right? But you have the ability to do this. I'm looking at you and I'm looking at long-term stability and security. But with that Page of Swords, I kind of worry about possibly running into a snag. But then I also feel like that if you are dealing with a person, they're asking one too many questions. But I look back on what you're pulling in the Oracle cards and I think it's really about you finding love now for what you do. What are you working so hard at? And don't push yourself, right? And then coming out the Five of Wands. So that may be competition at work, which is very possible here with the Five of Wands. I don't see this as inner conflict because you're already pulling on the wisdom of the King of Wands coming through. There's nothing to be conflicted about. To me, this looks like, people who are just looking to cause you problems. You may be dealing with people who are saying things that aren't exactly the truth. And it may be causing conflict. But workplace competition, it goes all the way through here. And then the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So what I'm looking at here is, and I do think that this is going to have to do with you. I still do think that you may be dealing with a person, but I think that this is about you calling shit for what it is. When you look at the King of Swords, this isn't somebody that's going to be fooled by the page. Okay? This is somebody who is thinking absolutely clearly, and it's not like the Queen of Swords where you're cold and shut off here. It's just, you're being logical and reasonable here while everybody else just seems to be, losing control and just getting caught up in nonsense. Now, looking at the Ten of Swords, for you, it's I think that you've already been here. Some of you may have gone through a really painful ending, but again, the Ten of Swords, this to me is the worst is over, and you're rebuilding here, especially with the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Magician, right? That's over with. The worst is over with. This to me is minor, what you're dealing with in terms of, outside people, influences, bickering, stupid shit. With the Two of Pentacles, be careful about how much you're willing to bend for somebody else. The Two of Pentacles, definitely you're talking about, money management, possibly juggling a couple of different situations that's causing conflict for you. But I look at this and think, if you're dealing with people that are constantly, pushing you and like not hearing you, then don't, be willing to be so flexible for them. I worry about that because you still come in with the King of Swords, logical, clear, right? You could definitely be dealing with a person here that's helping you to see things a little bit clearly. But, if you're talking about half-truths with the Page of Swords and then, people just creating pettiness around you, then, why would you be willing to bend backwards for them? I would just be careful about that. Don't get caught up in the conflict, because what you're trying to do right now is by far more important than dealing with that bullshit. Because the Five of Wands, it's petty, it's nonsense. And certainly don't let anybody push you into thinking that you're not good enough at what you do, right? You need to continue to love what you're working toward, and don't push yourself to be a perfectionist at anything. But don't bend over backwards for anybody else if all they're doing is, creating nonsense around you, conflict that you don't want to get involved in, right? I mean, you're smarter than that. Come on now. But it's not bad. I just think that right now the focus needs to be on you, not outside people, because that's what you end up dealing with here in future conditions and the outcome. Don't go out of your way to do something for somebody that's just creating more conflict for you, right? And unique gifts. I look at gratitude and I look at change, and I think, be grateful for the changes that are happening, because it's not a bad thing. It's leading you to security and stability for the long haul here, which is great. But unique gifts, what are your unique gifts? Well, wisdom would be one of them, and the wisdom to know not to get involved with, people who are just causing you problems. It's an annoyance, and I would be careful about, who you get involved with, though, too, especially in terms of work, because if they're asking a bunch of questions about you, and you will know as soon as that starts happening, somebody asking you, about you, what you do, you will know. Don't get involved, because with the Five of Wands coming out, it's just a bunch of nonsense you don't need, But finding a love for your unique gift, though, too, right? Be grateful for the change and be grateful for your unique gifts. I like it. Other than, stupid people you may be dealing with. Love endures, love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. And the two of them together, to me, is saying that no matter what you have been through, love is still there for you. I don't think that this is about things needing to be fixed in a current relationship. I think this is going to be for those of you who have been through, difficult relationships before and then feeling like, love is not there. This is just a reminder that it's all the way around you, right? If you acknowledge that, then it shows up in your life. And love doesn't quit on you just because of some shitty experiences, And you can't do the same, right? Because love conquers all, damn it. But I would just be careful. I would just be careful about, the people that you're dealing with right now. Because, in one person in particular, if they're constantly up your ass asking questions, they're just going to create conflict for you that you don't need right now. And don't go out of your way to do something for them. You've already been through, the worst. It's over with, but it will continue, though, if you allow people like this back into your space, right? Continue to pull on that inner wisdom, and that inner knowing. And definitely if you have somebody in your space that's like clear and can call bullshit for bullshit, definitely take their advice, because I see the King of Swords as like the up and up here. I don't see this as a bad thing, but I also see that as you, though, too, especially with the King of Wands kicking this off, whether you're male or female. I look at the Page of Swords as somebody completely different, not the same as the King of Swords, You have experience, you have knowledge, right? You've been through the worst, it's over with. But your security and stability is by far more important right now than dealing with somebody who may have like a feigning interest. All right, Sag, this one isn't bad. It's just what you're dealing with in future conditions and the outcome that worries me a little bit. And why is there this feeling of needing to be flexible for somebody who's looking to cause you problems? I kind of worry about that a little bit. Now, with the King of Wands as a past coming through, I think that this is about you pulling on the wisdom of your past experiences, but then I also feel like it's a part of you that you're pulling on from the past, who you were in the past, because it looks like you are rebuilding. Whether we're talking about, moving here, or, just working really hard to get some stability, right? With the Page of Pentacles, to me, if this is about moving here, it looks like hoping for good news, right? I don't see that Page of Swords being, a complete setback, even if we're talking about bad news, but I think it's a person. Now, as far as the clarifiers, though, with that Five of Wands, looking at the King of Swords, I also feel like this is something that you need to be pulling on. If you're pulling on the wisdom of your past experiences, then with the King of Swords, right, absolutely you're calling bullshit for bullshit, right? I mean, he's going to see right through this page for sure. But, you've already been through the worst. Looking at the Ten of Swords, but then coming out, why is it that you're willing to be flexible for somebody who would otherwise use information about you to create more conflict and more trouble than what they're worth, right? And if it's a workplace thing, definitely be careful about who you're dealing with in the workplace. It's all about you. It's all about you right now in your security and your stability and finding a love for what you are doing. I just think that that's more important right now than bending over backwards for other people, who aren't exactly being honest, but I think it's one person in particular. Now, again, with love conquers all, right? Love endures. Love is all around you, right? Love is all there is. And then you have perfection. No such thing. I have yet to see that. But I think that if you're finding a new love for what you're working toward, be careful about pushing yourself too hard. It's okay to set higher standards, and that's absolutely what you need to do if you have people who are being nosy as fuck around you, right? But I would just be careful. I'm still looking at this and wondering why you would even consider being flexible for, somebody who is creating conflict. Now, looking at the soul trees, be grateful for the change, right? And be grateful for your unique gifts, because it's going to create that security and stability, right? But it's also about you finding love for that again. But be grateful for the changes that you're going through, despite the fact that you may be attracting people that are not, I don't want to say that they're not worthy. They're not, they're interested in their own means, right? But it's not like a King of Pentacles type feel in the negative sense. It's not like they're looking to get something physical from you. They're looking for information from you that's just going to create problems. You, in what you are working toward, what you are busting your ass for, is more important than that. Now, with Whispers of Love, to me this looks like, especially with the Ten of Swords showing up, somebody who's been through really difficult endings in relationships. And this is just basically a reminder that love is all around you. As long as you acknowledge that as a truth, then it will show up in your life. And love is not going to quit on you, even if you are quitting on it. No matter what you have been through, right, there is always love to be had. It's just that you have to have faith and belief in that in order for it to show up for you. But I like it. I mean, everything that you're doing is fine. It's just like you hit this bump in the road where all of a sudden, you're doing all this stuff for yourself and you have somebody coming through, like I said, who is looking to create problems. Just, don't feel like you have to bend over backwards for people who are looking to just create pettiness around you. You're smarter than that.